Welcome back, everybody. So my name's KingRayRay Ray, and I'd like you to welcome you to a new little series that I call Reading Monday. So, as some of you may already know, I am also known as the author Syrus Sairiama. I have published Mind's Darkest Corners, Book 1 through 3, and Necrosis. You can expect more of the Mind's Darkest Corners later on as we go through. But first, let's start with a little book that I like to call Necrosis. So, every Monday I shall be posting a new chapter for you all to listen to and read along if you care to. And I will catch you every Monday. So, let's get started with the prelude for Silver Locket. For years, I never realized what kind of life I would have after high school. For the longest, I had such a normal, somewhat human life, going to and fro school, making friends and learning that life isn't always so bad. Even when a 7-year-old boy's father beats his mother in front of him just because his father didn't like the fact that his mother spoke up against him and his poor drinking habits that left the family in debt. That's what happened to me, at least. After that incident, my mother divorced my father before things went any further. She tried to work things out with him before then, and many times he would get mad, but never went as far to try and kill her. That night will be burned into my mind for the rest of my life. Father had just got home from going out to drink with his drinking pals at the local bar. And as usual, he was so drunk that you could barely understand anything he said, let alone the smell was horrid. Normally, my mother would just drop small hints of her disgust towards his habits, and he would just mumble about her being things that I just didn't understand at the time. Not this time, though. No, she had enough of it and decided to speak up against him. As soon as he was through the door, she yelled at him, giving him a piece of her mind, telling him how a horrible father and husband he was becoming due to his drinking problem. I was in my sister's room listening to her rant and rave while I covered my 3-year-old sister's ears. One moment there was yelling. The next moment, I heard Mother with her frantic scream. Naturally, as a kid, I was curious and I wanted to know what had happened. Normally, when Mother screamed, it was because of a mouse running across the hallway, and I had to play superhero to calm her down. Very soon, I regretted my choice of action, but at the same time, I didn't. What I saw was my father taking one of his beer mugs he had bought recently, smashing it across my mother's head, and beating her while she was curled up in the fetal state. After that, though, I don't really remember much. My memory is such a blur, not allowing me to envision what had happened. All I know is, shortly after, my father was in a corner of the room, crying, no longer intoxicated. I was crying over my mother, who had suffered a horrendous beating. The neighbors had heard the ruckus coming from our house and immediately called the police, who had arrived not too long after. Bursting down the door and pouring into our house like a typhoon, they arrested my father, who was still begging to his unconscious wife for forgiveness. Just as quickly as a rescue team saved my mother, taking her into intensive care. What makes me sad is the fact that my mother still lies there in the hospital bed in a coma 10 years later. Due to her condition, her sister, Auntie Hannibal, took us in and raised us as if we were her own. At first, I didn't take too well to her son, Peter, mainly because of his personality. But over the years, I learned to accept him as family. Now, this leads me to the main story of my life. How about we start on the day when it all begins for me? Well, that's not quite white either, but it is still the best place to begin. So that was the prelude for Silver Locket. Next Monday will be Chapter 1. I'll catch you guys on Monday and from now on Monday. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a big fat like. And if you haven't subscribed, come on and subscribe. This video will be both on my private channel and on Gaming Shield. So go on and check out both channels. Subscribe to both because on Gaming Shield we will have many more other videos being posted from other YouTubers and gamers out there. At the same time, I'd like to have your input. What would you like to see unfold throughout the story? I've already got a loosely knit spider web going on, but if you wish to see something unfold, then please leave in the comments below and I will see if I can weave it into the story. I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye now and enjoy.